up, everybody? It is your girl Jasmine with the Twisted Mystic show. Been away for a little bit, again, job is killing me, but it's all good. Thank you guys for tuning in. Got a lot to talk about the Mystics, as far as the Mystics, and also what's going on in the league. It's playoff time. Of course, like 50% of the series is, I don't know. Well, yeah, I'm not good at math, whatever. So, yeah, let's just get into it. So, the Mystics, they play the Aces right now. They're currently en route to Vegas if they're not there already. First two games of the series was pretty different. Both of them were different. The first one that they had was it was a 2-point win, like 97-95, and it was on a controversial call. But I mean, I tweeted a couple of days ago. I said, if you're really being real, if anything, the Sky should be playing the Mystics, not the Aces, because it could have been that De'Erica Hamby went out of bounds off of that shot. And, that's how they got there. Yes, they played a very good fourth quarter. But the Sky outmatched him. And that's how they made their way into the semifinals. I personally was more nervous for the Aces, because they have a lot of size and a lot of height, that I was like, wow, like the Mystics may, find themselves in some trouble. I feel like they had an easier match up with the Sky. But I do think that playing the Aces, will give them, I guess, more like a big confidence boost and a little more competition to, if they were to win this series and go to the finals, they kind of had play, against a team that is good in size and height, and they won't just get in by easy and then get surprised in the finals. But yeah, I mean, Liz Cambage is playing well, Asia's playing well. Kelsey Plum, I don't know where she came from, because she was struggling a little bit. Even kind of since when she was with the San Antonio Stars, like she was kind of just dragging a little bit. But I guess after that fourth quarter, 17-point quarter she had, I guess, her confidence boosted. Of course, it comes right before playoffs. But I'm happy for her. Like I was really happy when she got that fourth quarter to will them back, because I know she's kind of been in the back lately because of all of the stars that are playing right now for the Aces. But yeah, but not against the Mystics. But yeah, back to the game. Yeah, it was a really close game, and I didn't think it would end like that. I didn't think it would end like how it would have. I thought maybe the Aces, probably would like pulled out, or not the Aces, the Mystics, they would have pulled out in the end. But it wasn't a game like that. But everybody played well. I mean, they kind of continue to look how they did in the regular season. And I know they were probably a little rusty because they had 2 weeks off, almost 2 weeks off. So they had to prepare, and they were resting too. So, of course, you're going to be rusty if you haven't played in almost 2 weeks against a team that is just playing a game. They usually have the momentum. Their legs are still going, and they're used to it. So maybe that's why, the score was pretty much how it was. But then, in game two, it was kind of starting to look the same. They only had one. They only led. The Mystics only led by 1 point at halftime. But in the end, they had a really, really good third quarter, which I was surprised with, because sometimes the third quarters kind of get them. They kind of struggle in the third quarter, but they had a really good third quarter, and they only outscored the Aces by 1 point in the fourth quarter, but it was enough for them to get the win, 103-91. Of course, another 100-point game for them on the season. I mean, 100 points is like 20 points to this team now. Like, it's like they're guaranteed and bound to get this. But yeah, I mean, I know Thursday night was the night that Elena got her MVP award, which is deservingly so, because she has been on a tear this season. Strong tear. First WNBA player to get be in the 50-40-90 club. I mean, nobody else has done that. And then even when men in the NBA, like, it's very few. Like Larry Bird, Kevin Durant, Malcolm Brogdon. It's literally like, I think Steve Nash is in there too. Like, it's not even that many. I don't even think it's 10 people. Maybe 10, but I don't think it's that many, like, in there. So for her to be the woman, the first woman to do that is remarkable. And her free throw percentage is crazy. I think it's like 97.3 or 6. It's like one of those, but I just don't. It's crazy to me how you can make that many free throws in your career. And it's funny because when I see her go to the line, she kind of is on a diagonal a little bit. So she's automatically like in a diagonal position. I've always paid attention to it. And then she just raises her arms up, holds it for 2 seconds, and just goes in. Like, really unique shooting style that she has, but it works. It works. But I mean, she's definitely put her head down and worked hard, and it's deserving. It's very, very deserving, and I'm very glad that she's on the Mystics doing it. I know when she wanted that trade from Chicago, she wanted to be closer to her family, her sister Lizzie, and I mean, I'm glad that everything worked out for her and it led to her in the 50-40-90 club. So yeah, congratulations to Elena for getting the MVP award, and you are going to do great things. But despite her getting the award, she had 14 points, which is not bad, of course. But the person that really was the star was Emma Mieseman, and she had 30 points, 30.6 rebounds and 4 assists. And that girl right there, that's a bad sister right there. She is I think she was the piece that was missing fully from last year's roster, because remember, she took a year off and she wanted to rest, and then she went to play for the Belgium Cats for about a month this season. So she was away for a little bit. They got the job done without her, and while she was away, and they got the job done without her last year. And that was one thing I was concerned about, because the team was gelling so well when Emma was gone, and I wanted her to come back, but I was just like, this team went to the finals. This team gelled so well. How will they respond when she comes back? That was one concern I did have, but she came back in, and I mean, the first game was against the Sun. They dropped it, but I mean, who cares? You don't remember that game. I don't remember that game until I brought it up. But yeah, I mean, the team. I feel like the team gelled even better when she came back, because sometimes you kind of get that sense of like, well, how the team look, how would they play, how would they react when a player has been gone for so long. She was gone for a whole entire season. So they look unstoppable. They look very strong, and they're doing a really good job. And they did beat the series when they beat the Aces, the 2-1 in the regular season. And that one game, Elena wasn't out. It was out. Her nose was broken. So pretty sure, assure you, if she was in that game, they would have won. She's 27, 28 points that you're missing. So, she definitely would have won that. And she definitely would have won, if she was in that game, the Phoenix game, the camp game, they would have won that too. Because, again, 27, 28 points wasn't on the court. But, yeah, back to Emma. She pretty much played the whole game. Pretty much. And, that she's the missing piece, and the way that she plays is just amazing. Like she can get the craziest shots off, and I don't know how that happens. Like she'll just be at this weird angle, shoot the ball, and just goes in. I've never seen that before. Honestly, I just never seen it before. But yeah, the team kind of picked up in that second half, and they started to look how they used to look, or were looking in the regular season. So, they play game 3 in Las Vegas, and it doesn't have to be, the game on Sunday or Tuesday, whatever the next game is, but they just have to steal one of those on the road. That's all they have to do, and then they're back in the finals. So, I'm excited for them. That'll be a great story. They go back. Don't want to, prematurely say, but they are on a tear, and I'm very happy that, they got the number 1 seed, got the, double bye, but they realize that it's still work to be done. It's still things that needs to be cleaned up. They have things to work on because it's not done. It's not done yet. They have unfinished business, and that business is to win a championship. They were hurt last year that they didn't have that opportunity to hoist the trophy up, or at least extend the series against the Storm last season. So they have opportunity to do that. Everyone's healthy. They have the double bye, so they had some time to rest. Last year they had the 3 seed, and they had to play in a single elimination game, and you don't want to do that. Even if you do get a little bit of rest, you still got to play in a single elimination game. Nobody wants to do that, but I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that when come back. So stay tuned. All right, we are back for the Twisted Mystic Show. Your girl Jasmine here. But yeah, so wanted to get back into that single elimination. I believe that needs to be scrapped, eliminated, balled up, thrown up in the trash, burned. Like, that needs to go. It needs to go. Reason being, why are you treating a pro sport like it's March Madness? I get the intent of it, I get the thrill of it, but why are the first 2 rounds single elimination, and then you have to play a series? Like, why is that? I get a sport like football. You can't have a best out of 5 game series with football, because you have a lot of players that will get sore. Like, football's a very harsh sport. I can understand why you don't have a series in football. As far as basketball, they can play. They have series. It's spread out, but they play different teams. Wow, and they had. I know last year, the schedule was so condensed. That they had to have multiple games in a week, but I don't understand why there are single elimination games, and that Sky Aces game was a perfect reason why it should be scrapped. If the game played out how it played, they could play it again, and you never know. The Sky could have gotten a win out of that. And the series would have been even, and it would have been going to Chicago. And I just didn't understand. I don't understand why it's a single elimination. They need to get rid of it. They need a series, because there have been teams that have, I guess, lost off of unfortunate situations, and they didn't have another shot to make it up in another game. They just didn't. It's unfortunate. And I know last year when the Mystics played the Sparks, they were tired. The Sparks were tired. And again, I didn't think the Mystics would blow them out that much, because it was a blowout. It was really bad. But they were tired. They had to turn around and play this single elimination game, both of them, and it was just it's just unfair, sometimes for some teams, because what if the Sparks rested and they played again? They could have beat the Mystics, but it just sucks that you have to be in this single elimination stuff. But hopefully Kathy can kind of put something together and maybe get something in their bargaining agreement together, in terms of or contracts wise stuff, to have a longer series. I mean, I'm pretty sure they probably wouldn't be opposed to it. But just try it out. It's worth a shot. But yeah, that definitely needs to change. Also, I think a longer series could attract more eyeballs. I mean, just based off of that shot by Dearica Hamby alone, I mean, what if, what if they had a game 2? They would have had more people watch that game, and it would have attracted more eyeballs, because a lot of people were talking about that shot. It blew up on social media, on Twitter and on Instagram, and on television. Now people were talking about that shot. So you never know how things can turn out, and then it's unfortunate because you don't have another game after that. So it sucks that they have to play it that way, but maybe because of what happened on Sunday with the Aces in the Sky, they can probably work something out to where they can have a series moving forward. So yeah, just want to talk a little bit about that, and probably just close out the show when we get back. All right, I am back. So so I'm going to talk about Mystics and then pan out to the other series. So, Mystics, of course, they go to Las Vegas. They play the Aces on Sunday. And should be a good one. The Las Vegas crowd is going to be revved up, and maybe in a good way, because they see their Aces, and maybe in a bad way, because they probably felt that the Aces should have won game 1. By a point. But should be fun to see how this series shapes up in Las Vegas. But again, all the Mystics have to do is win a game, and they're in the finals, and hopefully they can do that. They can get a little bit more rest, and going into that if they win a game. So hopefully that will work in their favor. And yeah, I mean, expect for Liz to be fired up, Asia to be fired up, Kelsey Plum, Tamara Young, and De'Erica. You know, they're a good squad. I think she got the start on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. I believe she got the start. So we'll see how Lane Beer shakes up his roster on Sunday. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good game again. You know, good crowd. You know, this would be a really good test for the Mystics. Of course, you know, they did win the series 2-1. And they won one of those games in Vegas. Well, they won. Both of them were in Vegas. Yeah, both of them were in Vegas. They won. One of them was that earthquake game that they had. But yeah, this would be a good test. Playoffs, you know, you can do whatever you want in the regular season, but when playoffs starts, it's a whole different ball game. So, yeah. So we'll see. You know how that goes. Now, panning over to the other game is Sparks and the Sun. The Sun, they're playing very well, and it's very dangerous because nobody I feel like nobody pays attention to them. And I know that they don't have, like, you know, that mega superstar, or I mean, they have stars, but it's not like a superstar. You know, they don't have that one person where you can say, like, this is the team. And I think that's why nobody really pays attention. You know, for the Aces, you have Liz. You know, for the Sparks, you have Candace Parker. And for the Mystics, you have Elena. But, you know, this is not like that for the Sun. And I think that's why they're not as spotlighted. But they're a really good team. Very good team. And they are dismantling the Sparks. I mean, they blew them out. And, you know, I don't know if Candace Parker is dealing with injury, or, you know, something like that. But I feel like they had a really good first half against the Sun, but then just fizzled out in the second half. They just, you know, this Sun just pulled away, and, you know, that's why they have a 2-0 lead. So now they go to Los Angeles, which is also going to be a fun game. Should be a fun game with the crowd there, because, you know, they're all into it too. So we can see how that goes, and you know, see who comes out of that. But when it comes to it was game 2, I know it was a lot of back and forth going on not from game 2, game 1. Derek Fisher was apparently, you know, talking some crap to Jasmine Thomas, or Alyssa Thomas, when she was on the sideline, and you know, he said, "I want to blow you off the court," and stuff like that. And it turns out they got blown out on their side in the game. So it seemed to be pretty mellow in game 2. So, you know, nothing really happened there. I mean, of course, you're getting blown out, you're gonna keep your mouth shut. But then the highlight of the game was definitely Courtney's dad, and he's a number one fan, and they are literally the same. They look the same, they act the same. I mean, it was really fun to see her dad you know, supporting her the way that he does. And I mean, it's really fun and beautiful to see. But yeah, part of me wants this to be a series, but then part of me doesn't, because, you know, I feel like, of course, for me, of course, not being biased, but I do want the Mystics to go back to the finals. But then at the same time, I do want to see, you know, I want to see a game. I want to see, like, you got to fight. Where's your mental? If you lost the game, you're on the cusp of winning your third game for you to go to the finals, but then you lose. Where's your mentality going to be for game 4? So I just, there's little things like that I like to see. But if it ends on Sunday for both teams, cool. We have the WNBA final set up, so if that's the case. But we'll see how this shapes up to be. Will it be a Mystics Sun finals? Could it be a Sparks Aces? It could be anything right now. So Sunday, game 3, and definitely be in for a treat for these finals. So we will see how that shapes up. But I would like to thank you guys for listening again, tuning in. Definitely been a pleasure to crank out some episodes, throughout the season, even though they were sparingly. We'll see how this turns out. So I will be back after game 3. So have a good weekend and enjoy some WNBA. Peace.